What's going on, you guys? Cameron here with another video, and this video is going to be about implementing Agentic-FM, which is basically integrating AI into a FileMaker database the best possible way we can right now until Claris builds this natively into FileMaker. I'm not going to act like I'm a pro at this, which I am not a pro, but I've been dabbling with it in our actual production apps I have already implemented. I actually created a video, but after making the video, I realized I have a lot of sensitive data and I don't have a lot of time to edit right now. And I just need to figure out a way on getting a video out without having to do too much editing right now. So with that said, I will try to go through the steps as I best possibly can. In this video, I'm going to use Codex, which is Codex, which is the ChatGPT IDE prompting desktop app that I am using. I'm only using this because it's what I've been paying for about a year now, mainly in Google Chrome, just at chatgpt.com. And I've built a lot of web apps for our industry and our in-house business, where we don't have server, we don't have redundant data being saved. It's just something that we need to open up, run a script, get the data out, and go on our way. And to give you a gist of that, it's like generating utility billing data, which these plugins, these web-based apps, are generating the reporting, and then I just put it into our FileMaker database after that. Yeah, it's not fully streamlined from one end to the other, but it's doing so much work that I would have never been able to do without AI. Now, with all that said, what we're going to do is we are going to create or play around with just like a basic starter app. So we're going to click create here. I'm going to name this whatever it says. This is content management. I'm going to save this to, I think that accidentally saved to, where the heck did it save? It doesn't really matter where that saved, honestly, but it opened up. Another thing that I like to do is I'm trying to stay organized. You don't see it all right now, but I have a folder called FileMaker Video. And in this folder, I want to create a project. So what I'm going to do is generate a new chat, and I'm going to do a new project within FileMaker Video folder. So now this prompting AI IDE is within this FileMaker Video folder. Now, what we need to do is we need to get Agentic-FM set up. If you don't know what Agentic-FM is, it is this GitHub repository that was built by, I think his name's Matt. He's with FileMaker Magazine, ISO FileMaker, and I highly suggest going and watching his videos. He's super smart. He's built out, as far as I know, he's built out this whole GitHub repository where you can get a AI IDE integrated with your FileMaker database. It's not native and all, but it's the best that we have right now with FileMaker as far as the development side of things. You're not gonna have an AI design you layouts. You're not gonna have an AI design you portals. It's not gonna really design you reports. It's not going to build anything for you other than writing code, which in FileMaker is scripting, which is typically the heaviest part. We still have relationships, we still have reporting, layouts, value lists. There's a lot in FileMaker that still can't be automated with AI, but scripts typically are what take the most amount of time to write, with different table occurrences, different relationships, different layouts. And it's honestly improved my workflow in my own businesses and building things that I would have built over a long period of time, because it takes a lot of effort to sit down and think about what you want to implement. You can't just do it off the cuffs. So with all that said, you go to Agentic-FM. I click on Get Started, and you're presented with this wizard. All I do is I copied this, and because my IDE, my codex, is already in the project folder on my desktop, I'm just going to tell, hey, can you add the following to this project? And ChatGPT, I'm going to keep calling it ChatGPT, so might as well. ChatGPT is now taking my request. It's going to the GitHub repository, and it's going to clone that directory into the FileMaker video folder over here. And you can see how we have Agentic-FM here now, which is great. And within this Agentic-FM, we now have the ability to add the building blocks on top of our FileMaker database. I haven't learned the new version that Matt has implemented with this whole server and not having to copy scripts from the demo database. I'm sure it's a lot easier, but I'm just going based off of what I know right now, because to work in it from your see. Because I learned it from when this first came out, and typically when we learn something, we don't like to change it up until we have more time. I don't have the time to dig right now on learning the next version, which I'm sure I will get that time soon, but I just really wanted to get a video out because I haven't made one in a while, and it's super interesting. I don't know what we're going to build yet, but we're going to figure it out along the way. So now we have the Agentic-FM. And within this, we have been given a Agentic-FM FileMaker database file. Now, within that database file, I'm just going to minimize this stuff for now and open it back up. And the cool thing with AI is that ChatGPT should already have the understanding of what we're doing. And what I could do right now is I can ask it, okay, what's the next step on implementing this into a database? And I would do that now, but just to save time, if I was to ask that, it's going to tell me that we need to set up the context custom function, which in FileMaker, if we go to custom functions, we can add a custom functions here. And I'm going to prompt it and say, how do we get the custom function set up? And I'm doing this right now because I just realized that I'm doing a new database. I'm not doing one that's already made, but we might as well just go through the weeds. I'll read the project setup docs and the FileMaker custom function file so the steps match this repo instead of guessing. And also on Agentic-FM, there's also install the context custom function. Open your FileMaker solution, go to File, Manage Custom Functions, create a function named context. So I mean, we could even base it off of just reading instructions like we used to do as programmers, but now we just give everything to AI. So the function name is context with one tax parameter, and paste in the context of FileMaker Context-FM. Before the companion scripts push context calls context task, fastest path, CD, then in FileMaker target. Custom function, go to open your target in the custom list and paste control. Install the companion scripts. Context, script manager. All right, I'm just going to tell it to I'm just asking where the context. I'm sure it's in this folder here. Agent context. I think it's just all the code right here. So in the custom function, we're setting the function as context and the function parameter is task. We're going to add that context task equals, and then all I did is copied all of that context code in the context example JSON file. Actually, I don't know if that's the right one. That's the oh, this is it right here. Oh, can you import it? Oh, this is what we need. So the context.fm.fn, and I think this is what we need. I'm gonna paste that. Click OK. Click OK. So you guys can see how the AI can help you along the way on setting this up. It's been a while since I've set it up in a new file, because once you set it up once, it's pretty much done. Like there's not much changing involved. So let's say I have it right. And another thing that I know is Matt has implemented some new server, which I'm not familiar with yet. I haven't done it this way, but what I do is I go to the script editor and I just copy all of these scripts that we have here. This is how the first version was. And I open the script manager for the new file here, and I'm just going to paste in all of these script steps that have been built in FileMaker for FileMaker to network and talk to an AI IDE agent, aka a project file. So the get Agentic-FM path, we need to tell it to we need to link the folder, the FileMaker YouTube video or FileMaker video that I put on my desktop, because that's where the agentic file is. So I'm going to click the FileMaker video and click this Agentic-FM and select it. So now FileMaker should be linked up to the file path to the Agentic-FM file path. So this will basically help with adding new generated documents that we pull from a FileMaker script. So we're going to run a FileMaker script and it's going to add files for us to that Agentic-FM folder. So what we got to do is we got to explode the XML. What this is doing is basically giving us the code version of our FileMaker database, and it's blowing it up for the computer to read, for our AI to read. So what we're going to do is explode XML. We're going to run that script, and it says the XML has been placed into the Agentic-FM XML parse folder. So that ran well. And another thing we can do next is pushing the context of this layout that we're on. So we're going to go back to the screen workspace and we're going to push context. And this is where, in the beginning, it was all about telling it what we want to write right here. And let's see, what can we do? I'm just going to do something basic for now. Let's do create a new record script. I think this is new. Before there was like a whole back and forth thing that we had to do. Now we don't really do this, do that anymore. Now we just talk to our IDE, which is a lot easier. So now we can basically tell or ask this project folder, because all this is doing is just reading our project folder on our desktop. It's able to interact with it. So can you see the exploded database along with the text? Yes, I can see both the exploded database export and the push context. The file is solution content management, content details, contact management, the create a new record script for creating new record on this layout generated today. It's seeing the tables, it's seeing 14 scripts, it's seeing 2 layouts, 3 value lists, and 5 layout objects. I can see 112 exploded files, including the following. So now it has the context of what the heck we have in this FileMaker solution. So it's my understanding that it can see all these fields in this table. It can see all of our tables, and it's understanding all of our relationships. Okay, so with that data in here now, let's just play around with the solution and see what we can even do in here. So we can insert a file. Let's see, screenshot. I'm just going to insert this screenshot. So the screenshot was inputted. We can give this a name. Hello world. And we are testing out setting up Agentic-FM in a new FileMaker solution. It's type, image, status, in progress, location. Let's say we have ability to add notes. Adding a note to this file. It makes that look like a button. It's kind of funny. Okay, so now one thing that I've built in another solution, which was a great help because exporting container data is very tedious and it takes a lot of time to figure out all the file paths and all. But what we can do now is that we can make AI do all that work for us. So the vision for this, it's like, okay, I want to make a button that will run a script that will automatically open up and export the container file on the record I'm on. Make it so that the file name is named after the name field and give it a underscore and timestamp. Even if we're doing temporary, we might not need all that data, but let's just say we need it. And I'm just going to tell it to do that. And it's going to run. One thing that I think I forgot to mention, I think you have to have, I think you have to have the MBS plugin set up in order for things like this to work. It's just something that I've always had, so I'm not 100% certain. So that's why you got to play around with it. It's not going to be plug and play, but I'm just trying to show like what the heck is possible with this once you have it set up. So the AI is saying I'll inspect the current context and exploded field / layout files to identify table occurrences, the name field, and the container field to export before generating the script. Now, one thing that I have noticed is that AI can't, if it's a script step, I've had like exporting, I've noticed that you have to like manually set the field that it's supposed to be exporting. For whatever reason, the XML generation and conversion code won't convert it correctly. But we'll see what this does. It's playing around with it's programming right now. We're at 1minute and 29 seconds. So this is fairly basic in my opinion. See how long it takes. In the meantime, what we can do over here is we are going to edit this layout. And I want to create a export. I'm going to add a export button here and make it look like a little download icon. This padding is nuts. I have the exact field ID now. Contact management name is field ID 1. See, these are IDs that are in the background of FileMaker that we never really see. Every single script, every single field, every single relationship occurrence, everything is ID'd in the background for FileMaker to do the mapping involved on the updates, changing occurrences, changing contexts, And that's what this AI is using. So far, we're about 3 minutes in. It says the script snippet is written. I'm validating the XML structure and checking whether the repos accepts full script snippets or only snippets. Asking if it copied. So it has copied it to my clipboard. It's doing a conversion of XML so FileMaker can read the script. And I'm going to paste it in. Paste in. Let's see what's going on. There we go. There's like an error going on with FileMaker. It's not letting me paste. What the heck? Oh, it copied the whole script. I've never done it that way. I've always pasted. That's kind of interesting. Gotta figure out what I did there. That's pretty cool. I haven't done it that way yet. I think it's because everything that I've been doing, I've been editing an existing script, and this was a brand new one, so that might be it. So as FileMaker developers, we gotta just make sure that this isn't gonna break anything. Obviously, this is a demo database, so it doesn't really matter, but I highly recommend you researching and reviewing what the FileMaker spits out before what the AI spits out for FileMaker. So it's basically making sure that there's a file to export, which is good. It's doing the source file name, extension, safe name, timestamp, file name, and then the path. This time it actually did input the export field context. Maybe in the past it hasn't worked for me because maybe I didn't push the context and it didn't know what the heck we were working with. That could be an issue. And it's saying automatically open, create folders on. So to me, this looks great. I mean, let's just see if we can one-shot this as we're starting to say. And we are going to perform the script export current container. And let's see what happens. There's a positioning issue. There we go. Probably should do the other side, actually. There we go. So there's a PNG in here. We click this, and look at that. It automatically opened nice and quick. We just one-shotted all of this code, meaning that we asked it to we asked it to export automatically and automatically open this container file and open it without any intervention. Just open it. And now when we click this button, it'll automatically open. And another thing that we told it is we told it to name it the same name as we have here, which I told it to say, which this one was called Hello World, and it did a timestamps, today's date at 12:59:10, which is down to seconds. And you can see that it's actually creating it differently here, which is awesome. That's perfect. So let's say that we want to create another button that's similar to this, but let's say we have a bunch of records here. And let's just minimize this stuff for now. I typically have multiple monitors. I do have multiple monitors, but just for everybody to see here. Minimize this. And I've been recording for 31 minutes, so it's going to be a long video. I'm not going to edit. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is what it's really like trying to get it implemented into a new database. And after you do this a couple of times, you get this set up in all your databases, get them all set up in folders, and then everything is already, what's that script step's name? You get the path. Once you generate the path, it'll remember it. The get Agentic-FM path, this will work every single time once you link it to all of your folders. What I'm going to do in here is I'm going to take screenshots, copy again. I'm just trying to get some pictures going here so that we can create some data. Okay, so I'm going to pull up my desktop. And I'm just going to start adding some content here. You guys can see my house. So now we have testing low. Math is so small. Go Agentic-FM. Agentic-FM is the future. Okay. So let's say we have a list now. We have a list of content that we are on the content list. And let's say we want a script that works on this where we can generate and export all of these pictures into a folder. And each folder is named based off of the record name. Or what we can do is let's get in the weeds here. So we have in progress. Let's say we want to make all of these in progress. We can do some that are completed, filed, and sent. Okay. So what we're going to do now is, just to be safe, it's not going to hurt anything, but it's a good practice now to start running your explode XML every time things change in your database. Things are getting updated. We've added a button, we've added a script, and now we've added records. I don't know how much gets pushed, but we're going to explode the XML so this gets updated into the folder, which that's done already. And then we are going to push the context. And I don't think this really works anymore, but let's just say building export for photos. I think this is just to get the context to the file. And now we are still in the same project. Okay, so similar to how we exported record file, I'm now on the content list view, and I'd like to export all files for all records being shown, and I want them organized by their status. So create folders for the statuses that are currently used. So hopefully it's understanding what I'm saying. Basically, at the end of it, we should have 1, 2, 3, 4 different folders, and within inside of each folder should be their represented file. You can name each file by their record name field. So that's a prompt. We just sent the prompt in, and now we let the AI do the rest. The last one took about 3 minutes, I think it was. Almost 4 minutes it took on the record export, which works pretty well. And now we just wait and see what it's doing. I'll build this as a second paste-ready FileMaker script using the current found set rather than changing with which records are shown. It will export each record's container into a desktop export folder with subfolders based on status. I found the needed step XML for looping through the found set and exporting containers. I'm writing a full script snippet now, separate from the single record export script. So it's going to create a brand new script. So I've already heard it make a copy to my clipboard. I have a clipboard history editor. So things are being copied and pasted throughout right now. And it did it faster. And in my opinion, this was a little bit more programming intense, in my opinion. Within 2 minutes, it's already figured this out and what to do. Because you ask for file names based on the name, duplicate names inside the name same status folder can be collided. The script currently honors name directly with only an untitled primary key fallback for blank names. Okay, that's smart. It says that it's copied it to my clipboard, so we're gonna add here. I just pasted export found set container fields files by status, and setting record, making sure it has one. It's doing the export contacts correctly, it looks like. Creating folders is on. Didn't say exactly where this is being saved to. So rather than having to read this, let's just ask it, where will the files we save to. Desktop content file export. Okay, cool. It's going to the desktop. So let's edit this layout, and we're going to add a button, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to download all. And it said export. Bigger. And we're going to do a button setup on this. Perform script. And let's see if we can one-shot this. We have 8 records. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 different statuses. So let's see what we do here. Exported 8 files to my desktop. Content files export. Skipped 0 records with no file or export errors. That's great news. Let's see what we got. Let's go to the desktop. Content files export. And look at that, guys. We now have a completed, filed, in progress, and sent. Sent status has 1. Agentic-FM is the future, which I couldn't agree more. Can't wait till FileMaker makes this native and we can start doing portals, tables, relationships. Like, the future is bright for FileMaker if they implement it right. Because FileMaker already has the servers built, they already have the back end built, they have the security built. It's here, it's ready. They just gotta finish it. Let's say filed has 2, completed has 2, and in progress has 3. So this is amazing work by the AI and by Matt on getting this all implemented. I think this is a great video showcasing what's possible once you get it set up. Sorry about that. This video is already long. 42 minutes is a long video to sit through and watch, but I highly recommend you dabble along with this Agentic-FM plugin / repo and getting it set up with your AI agent of your choice that works for you. I've been having nothing but great success with it, and it's helping me get a lot of things done and caught up with, that's for sure. So until the next time, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you in the next one. Peace out.